Okay, salvator mundi. Freaking hell. How many times have I downloaded this? Lost it in my files anyway. So, I think, where you're going to start when you do your research and all this, like, oh my god, the amount of bullshit, seriously, surrounding all this crap, it's like, took me years to sift through. So you probably end up finding, in reality, it was most likely done by one of his students and not Da Vinci. Like, he did have a crew of apprentices, and he wasn't teaching them just painting, I can tell you that. So, okay, the thing is with this, that these, like, scene people like that actually making cash off this sort of stuff, like, telling you all sorts of crap, crazy jive, but, I'll give you my I'll throw my 2 cents in. So the thing is with this one, you got the eye thing. Like, there's 2 different sides to this person's face. I don't know if you might be able to notice it, probably not. But if you get it close up, one eye is like normal, the other's like on some slant downward lazy eye kind of situation. And so I've talked about the 2 sides of awareness. This isn't a male and female thing. This, or like even right and left hemisphere kind of thing. Like, like your eye will tell you what that eye is on about. It looks like sloth, one of the 7 deadly sins. I don't know. Let's just call it a lazy eye. It's not, what do you call it? Most desirable. So I've talked about, like, a gene taking over the right side of awareness, which is the gateway to the subconscious, and the abstract, and the energy body, which is why it's blocked by a different nature. It has a nature of its own, and yeah. So we're looking at that. We're looking at, like, an image of Christ, perhaps, but we're looking at reality. As it goes back to Egypt, Horus, the twin. Horus is a twin, like, because there was something missing, those gaps had to be filled in his genetic code. Because if you remember, his father was dead and the pieces had to be gathered by the female, the right side of awareness. Yeah, which is, gathering a more unified view as well. But anyway, that's why, one of the reasons the divine feminine is sacred, because when the twin reaches a peak or it conflicts with the opposite side, and the DNA breaks down, like as in Osiris, it gets pulled apart into many pieces. There is a genetic breakdown, even in mental illness and stuff like that, which usually occurs at an age of full maturity, like 21, 19. And really, to gather those things back together, it's the divine feminine that does it. That's why one of the reasons when it comes to consciousness, the divine feminine, Isis particularly, is equal to God, pretty much, in the Egyptian text. So, what else? There was, there's another picture of it. So before I go on, I wanted to add something in the last video. So I think even one of his students was a model for this, and as you can see, it's one of them. Someone's done the mirror thing, and some alien creature emerges central. So you're taken to the two hemispheres of the brain, or two mirror images of reality. And there's a crossing point. So as I go on, might as well keep going with this sort of stuff, and we'll talk about the point. And it's usually an identifier as John the Baptist. And I don't think this is supposed. Maybe when John's young, I don't know who they say this is, but the model is most likely one of Da Vinci's closest students, they say. And it's interesting that he uses that with the point, because John was also very close to Jesus, if not his spiritual sort of brother. So yeah, like perhaps Da Vinci also recognised. So you got this dude as something similar in that aspect, so he used him as a model. So also, like, you get the mirror thing, and you get the alien shit that emerges, and it's the same with the mask. When you take to the jade mask of Palenque, found in the main tomb there, you can see that strange demon that emerges with the antennae. A lot of insectoid stuff going down in the jade mask. But what it's showing you is, like, you know, you got the physical, you like use the two images and overlap it. It's the same thing that occurs in the mind when the realm of these things. I've done other videos like the jade mask reveals the inorganic beings world, I think it was called. And I just call them inorganic beings because that's what it's a classification given in the Carlos Castaneda books of all non-physical beings, or an opposite of organic, just inorganic. I don't know. It makes sense to me. That's why I don't know. These things just fit simply, and everything the Toltecs did was very simple. It was nothing complicated like a lot of Western occult these days. It's just way too overcomplicated. I think we know the reason for that. Anyway, so yeah, the mirroring is very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So where was I going with this video? The two sides of awareness. Okay, so yeah, really it's mainly in the eyes in this one. You know, in Da Vinci's paintings, you gotta keep an eye on the eyes as well. There's weird stuff going down, and two sides, and one is definitely less desirable. I watched one video of some dude trying to interpret it, like, good luck. It's described as like a dyslexic eye. Like, yeah, probably.